Hello, hello, my lovely, beautiful Aries. Welcome back to the channel today. We are going to go ahead and get started on your weekly reading for April 8th through April... Is it the 8th through the 20 something? Let me check real quick. April 8th through the 21st. Here we go. All right. Now that I have the correct date, my lovely Aries, I hope that you are doing well. I hope that things are going okay for you, that life has been treating you nicely. Happy birthday season for you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Yeah, we are officially in Aries season. I know we've been in it for a couple weeks now, but I think this is the first time I've acknowledged that it's your birthday season. So happy birthday to those of you who will be having them this coming weeks, or happy belated birthday if it's already passed for you as well. Let's move these guys around a little bit. Now, you do have the Emperor card showing up on the very last card for your reading for these 2 weeks. And the Emperor card, if you were unaware, is associated with the zodiac sign of Aries. So Aries, you are showing up in your own reading here this week. There is some big changes ahead coming for you, Aries. A lot of it has to do with some path or journey that you find yourself on. Something that you are trying to start here. Let's take a look. I pulled some oracle cards for you to start off the reading. Your first one here is the Electric Eel Spirit, which says, bring your ideas to life. So yes, bring your ideas to life. You have lots of ideas floating around in your brain here. You're trying to make something work, trying to do something here. You have the Squirrel Spirit, which says believe in yourself, believe in your abilities, believe in your ability to bring your ideas to life. And then your last card here is the Brown Bear Spirit, which says take time out. So some of you are going to need to take a break soon. When you're working really hard on trying to build something, it can be really tempting to throw all of your energy into trying to make this thing work, trying to get this thing off the ground, get things going. It can be really tempting to throw all of your energy, throw all of your motivation into that one tiny aspect of your life, but it can often sometimes disrupt or, throw other things into chaos. And sometimes we need to take a break, take time out, remove ourselves from it so that we can actually see things a little bit clearer. Sometimes when we're in the middle of it, it's really hard to figure out what is going on. So let's take a look here. Yeah, you got a lot. You got a lot on your mental. There's a lot here about motivation, but you also have quite a few major arcana cards showing up for you, Aries. So there definitely is a big transformation process happening for you. Your very first card here is the Fool in reverse. Yeah, so a lot of you have started a journey, or a lot of you are thinking or hesitating about starting this journey. The Fool card is this innocence that happens when we begin a new project, when we start something new. It's that very first piece of this journey where we start taking these steps in this process. We start moving forward. We start to not even start moving forward. It's literally the first steps. Like when you see this card, this is a person who is on the edge of a cliff. They're very joyous and they almost have this innocence about them. You don't know what you don't know. And a lot of this time, when we start new journeys, we can come into it with really big ideas and wanting to do everything and optimistic and this, I can do anything, I can do whatever I want. And yes, you can do whatever you want. But sometimes we go in, and because we don't know potential obstacles that could be coming up for us, because we don't know what we don't know, we can often run into, things. We can bite off more than we can chew a little bit. And with that in the reverse, I feel like some of you are on the precipice of this journey. Some of you may not have started it yet. Some of you may be hesitating or being called to go on some sort of journey. It's interesting though, because the Fool card moves into the Tower card. Your second card here is the Tower. Now the Tower, I know it gets a bad rap in a lot of tarot readings for being very disruptive. Oftentimes a lot of people, when they see the Tower card, they're like, oof, like I don't want the Tower moment, It's almost kind of like doomsday attitude that a lot of people get about it. It's not so much about doomsday as it is about breaking down things. And while yes, this breakdown process can be very disruptive, it can be very difficult or even sometimes painful to have to deal with, this process is necessary for growth. In order to accept something new, we have to break down old things. So some of you could be breaking down your ideas about how you should approach this journey. Some of you are going on this journey of self-discovery that is brought on by the Tower moment. You know, things crumbling down around you, things being brought down back to their foundations so that you can address them and that you can build things back up. You know, it's like a house that's been condemned, that has been, you know, sitting and rotting and getting gross for a while. You have to break it all the way back down to its studs so that you can make sure that you're rebuilding with, you know, stability. You have the Ten of Wands in reverse, which is about needing to let something go. It's about needing to lay down your burdens. Stop carrying so much weight. I think a lot of us, you know, we start moving into this new journey. We start moving on this new path, and especially if this is a breakdown of old beliefs, if you're reinventing yourself right now, Aries, and thinking about, you know, all the things that you can do, all the things along this path that you got to deal with, the Ten of Wands in reverse is you laying down previous hurts, previous expectations for yourself, previous ideas about how things were supposed to work or how they're supposed to go, you know. A lot of the times we have this idea about what our life is supposed to look like, you know, having a house, a car, a spouse, a, you know, 2.5 kids and a dog, all that sort of stuff. We have this idea in our mind of what happiness should look like for ourselves, how we should look, how we should act and feel and believe, how we should do things. And this is you releasing those expectations about how you should do things. Your very next card is the Hierophant in reverse. One of the things that some of you could be releasing is actually the way that things have always been done. The Hierophant is about tradition. It's about, you know, the way that things have always been done. The Hierophant is actually about, you know, a higher... It's like a higher person of authority. Like in the traditional Rider-Waite, this card represents like the Pope, you know? So when you think about the Pope, this is really like a system that has been, you know, has very strict rules and upbringings and things like that. And the Hierophant in reverse is you releasing yourself from these rules, releasing yourself from tradition and the way that things have always been done, the way that things should be done, as I was saying. Aries, a lot of what's going on right now is you releasing these expectations, the burden, especially with the Ten of Wands, it's that burden of expectation, the burden of trying to make things work, trying to get things going, and, you know, all that sort of jazz, all that crazy mess that we find ourselves in of, you know, the way that we think things should be. The Hierophant is tradition. It's, you know, the way that things have always been done. Your next card here is the Ace of Swords in reverse. Now, the Ace of Swords, this is oftentimes it's thoughts. It's about the willpower to see something done. The sword is the tool, right? It's a tool of not manifestation like the Ace of Wands that you have here. Ace of Wands is the manifestation and the willpower, but the sword is the actual tool. This is the actual thing that you use. When you think of a sword, you know, it's used to cut, it's used to fight, it's used to take an action, do something, and actually, like, get something done through your willpower of your mind. So, yes, this can be thoughts, this can be new thoughts coming into your head, but I feel like a lot of you are struggling to find the willpower or the thing that you're looking for that is going to, I guess, help you feel as though you've unlocked this new piece of yourself. I think a lot of you feel very wayward at this time. I feel like a lot of you feel very directionless. Feel as though there's so many different ways that you could be doing things. Or you feel very trapped because there's, as we said, this expectation of the way that things should be done. And the Ace of Swords is kind of like that new piece that you're looking for that almost, I feel like you're waiting for that piece that gives you permission in a way to do things differently. You're looking for that, I feel like it's really looking for that missing piece. Your next card here is the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Now, the Six of Pentacles it's kind of interesting that it's showing up here, because this is sometimes about philanthropy. This is about sometimes getting that, like, piece. This is almost waiting for someone to give you the missing piece, the missing thing that you've been waiting for. Because we said with that Ace of Swords, it's almost as if you're missing some sort of start. You're missing that little extra bit that's going to give you, as we said, permission. But I feel like a lot of you are almost expecting it to come from somebody else, someone from outside of your own mind to give you this permission. This is also about balance. The Six of Pentacles in the traditional Rider-Waite, this is, as we said, philanthropy. It's about finding that balance between the wealthy and the poor. It's a wealthy person who has been in the poor person's shoes. This is someone who has experienced poverty, and now they find themselves in a place of wealth, and they are giving back to the less fortunate. It's almost like balancing the scales in a way, of taking from the rich and giving to the poor, Robin Hood style. Not really Robin Hood, because it is freely given philanthropy. But with this in the reverse, I feel like a lot of you are waiting for somebody else to give this thing to you. A lot of you are waiting for somebody else to give you the opportunity, that, Ace of Swords willpower moment. But this is something that's going to have to come from inside of you. This is something that you're going to have to search for inside, Aries, that you're going to have to figure out for yourself. It's not going to be something that somebody else can give you. And this something else, I feel like, is represented by your last card in this first row here, which is the Ten of Pentacles. A lot of you, this could very well be related to your purpose. This very well could be related to your job and the things that you have been doing. The Ten of Pentacles is more than just like work. It's more than just wealth. It's actually like generational wealth. Having enough wealth to not only give back to the less fortunate, but to have to give to your family, your offspring, your, descendants further down. This is about building something that creates so much stability and wealth. And yes, physical wealth, like money wealth, but there's more ways that we feel wealthy in our lives than just with finances. We have a wealth of love, a wealth of time, a wealth of energy and attention and things like that. So making sure that we have the, physical wealth. It's really about stability. Stability within the home. Financial stability, yes, that's part of it, but it's also, emotional stability. It's having your foundation really well set. That Tower moment is, as we said, it's breaking things down to your foundation. And the Ten of Pentacles is this foundation. It's a grand foundation, yes. It represents a foundation that is so firm that it's something that's unshakable for generations to come for you, But I feel like that's what a lot of you are looking for. You're looking for this opportunity, this moment, this thing, this missing piece that's gonna bring you this Ten of Pentacles that you're looking for. Some of you could be waiting for permission to, find a new job. Some of you are looking outside of yourself to figure out what a job might be. You're looking for a job that can bring you wealth, but you're not looking at the inside wealth of this job. I feel like, gosh, I don't want to keep saying job. It's not just about money, it's not just about having a good paying job. It's about having a job that leaves you feeling fulfilled. And in order to find out what fulfills you, you have to know yourself internally a little bit. You have to get in touch with what you want internally. Otherwise, you're going to be directionless. I mean, this Fool in reverse, it's someone starting a journey but not knowing where they're going. You have to get in touch with what you want in order to know where you want to go. Otherwise, you're just going to be wayward. You're going to be left to the wind and whatever else is going to come your way. If you don't have a guiding force to bring you back, or an idea in your mind, this Ace of Swords, if you don't have an idea of where you're trying to go, what you actually want for yourself, you can't get there. You know, you have to have some sort of destination in mind. Okay, let's move on to week 2 here. We'll move on to the second week. This is the 15th through the 21st. I have to look at my calendar because I cannot remember dates. As I'm filming this is actually the start of Mercury retrograde on April 1st. So there is a lot of confusing energy going on in my brain. So I apologize if I'm not making as much sense as usual. Or I guess I don't really make sense half the time. When I edit my videos, you guys, I literally watch it and I'm like, I don't know what the heck I was saying. So hopefully I'm making some sort of sense. And if not, it's, you know, I'm blaming Mercury retrograde. So anyway, as I said, moving on to week 2, we start off with the Judgment card. Now, this is that awakening. This is awakening to, sometimes it's awakening to your purpose, but I feel like a lot of you are awakening to the idea of what you want. We're talking about, you know, wanting to build financial stability for your future. We're talking about wanting to move into a world where you don't feel burdened, and you know, it may be something that's unconventional. You may find that your answer for this thing that you want to do is outside of, you know, conventional norms, but awakening to it. The Judgment card is literally, it's the awakening of the dead into living again, into ascension, to oneness with the universe. Judgment, it's actually like a representation of Judgment Day, like from the Bible, from the book of Revelations. But judgment, it's not just about like personal judgment. It's not about judging ourselves. It kind of is, you know, but mostly it's about judgment, being called to what it is that you're supposed to do. This is like that final stand moment where you really take a look at yourself and you're like, who am I? Who do I want to be? Where do I want to go? What do I want to see? What do I want the meaning of my life to be about? When I leave behind my 10 of Pentacles, when I leave behind my legacy, what will that look like? Judgment is awakening to your purpose. Yes, it's also awakening to this new idea of where you want to go, what you want to do. So I wouldn't get too discouraged from this first week here, all of this, you know, chaotic mess of things being brought back down to your foundations. But judgment is that awakening. You know, it's that spark of life moment that gives you this idea of where you want to go. Your next card here is the 2 of Pentacles. Now this, as you can see, it's kind of like this infinity. When you turn it sideways, it's like the infinity symbol, perfectly balanced. Other than the colors of this card, you know, I can turn this pretty much any direction and you can tell that it looks pretty similar no matter which way you turn it. It's about balance, balancing your resources. And resources, as we said, are, yes, money, pentacles, obviously, we're talking about money. But you have more than just money resources. You have time resources, energy resources, and things like that. So this is about finding that balance. A lot of you are looking for the balance of time at home and time for work. Energy for work. You don't want to find a job that's going to take everything out of you. And in fact, I think a lot of you are going to find that what you want to be doing, this thing that you're trying to find, this purpose that you're trying to awaken to with that Judgment card, you're looking for something that is going to balance these pieces of your life. You may even find that this awakening, this thing, is going to be something that allows you, you know, the time and the money to be with your family, to be with the people that you love. You're looking for something that's not going to take a lot from you and still leaves you with the ability to, you know, do the things that you want to do. Isn't that the dream, honestly? Isn't that everybody's? I shouldn't say everybody's. Everybody wants different things. You know, some people want a job where it requires all of their time and energy because that's where they find fulfillment. And other people want, you know, fulfillment to be with their families and to, you know, work from home and all these other things. So finding the balance within you, what does your balance look like? I think a lot of us, you know, we have to, as I said, we have to take that look inward. We have to do that dive inward and figure out for ourselves what we want this legacy to look like with this 10 of Pentacles. And that 2 of Pentacles is about finding balance within it. So time, money, energy, balancing time between work and home, balancing time between how much energy you're putting into work versus your home versus yourself even, you know. Doesn't necessarily have to mean family or marriage, you know. Energy that you're putting between two different places. Then we move on to the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Now remember how I said the Six of Pentacles is about like charity? Well, the Five of Pentacles obviously is the card before the Six, but this is that moment of loneliness. This is that moment of being left out in the cold, being left behind, that the poorness, the lack of, that leads us to the Six of Pentacles. This is the poorness that, you know, when someone comes in and gives us the missing piece, someone comes in and is able to provide us with what we're missing, we're able to balance ourselves again. The Five of Pentacles in reverse is basically saying, move out of that lack mindset. Move out of that mindset of not being good enough, not having enough. A lot of us, you know, I think we get so caught up. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. We get caught up in trying to, you know, get the best job, get the best car, get the best home, things like that. We get caught up in trying to go for something. We want more, more, more. And it leaves us feeling worse. It leaves us feeling less than in the long run because we're trying to reach for something that we feel is outside of our reach, unattainable. We're trying to get to this perfect end goal that we want for ourselves, but the more that we focus on us not having it, the more that we, you know, confirm that we don't, the worse that we feel because we don't have this thing and we really, really want it and we're trying to go for it. It's literally that lack mindset of trying to reach so hard for something because you feel like it's going to fill a void. But the Five of Pentacles in reverse is saying we need to move away from that lack mindset. We need to move away from this idea that we don't have enough, which is really hard a lot of the times because, you know, we want things like money so that we can have financial stability because a lot of our stress is about providing for ourselves. A lot of us want this, you know, life where we can not work so hard and still be able to take care of ourselves. So your next card here is the Ace of Wands in reverse. Now, you had the Ace of Swords, and we said that Ace of Swords is like the thought. It's the almost the mental willpower of thinking, but this is actually the physical willpower. This is the actual tool of manifestation. The Ace of Swords is the tool of, you know, action, but this is the tool of manifestation and willpower. The Ace of Swords is, you know, as I said, action. This is the actual physical steps, but this is the belief. This is the inspiration, the creativity. So a lot of you, as I said, you're missing, or you're looking for that missing spark. You're looking for this thing that's going to help give you this moment, this ignition almost. Aries, you are the gasoline, and you are looking for the match that is going to light you up, that is going to get you motivated to start doing this thing. A lot of you feel as though you are, I feel like you're waiting for it. That Ace of Wands, it doesn't feel like it literally feels like a match. It doesn't feel like a wand. But the wand is manifestation. It's our ability to take this thing from our thoughts and to birth it into reality, to manifest it, literally, like take it from the intangible and bring it into our physical reality where we can grasp it. And so I feel like a lot of you, you're feeling as though you're lacking this thing. I feel like, yeah, bring your ideas to life. That's literally what we had with that eel spirit here. Bring your ideas to life. Well, that Ace of Wands, that's not just the idea, that's the spark of life. That's the thing that brings it into being. But take time out. You're trying to bring something to life. You're trying to bring yourself to life, honestly. Trying to bring your motivation and your inspiration to do something again. It's this weird energy of like trying to do something, but you're also being called to not do something. Take time out and take a break. I feel like some of you are trying so hard to force something to happen on your timeline. You're trying to force something to happen before it's ready to happen. I think, Aries, I know that a lot of the times we can end up in this place where we're trying to improve so much that we forget to like actually take a break and enjoy where we have ended up. We're trying so hard to change our current circumstances that we forget to be grateful in the moment for the things that we do have. Your next card after that Ace of Wands in reverse is actually the Four of Swords in reverse. And the Four of Swords in reverse is literally you're taking time out. This is supposed to be that period of rest where we recuperate, where we heal, where we, rest and pray and do what we need to do to fill up our cup again. This is where we take that break. You can't constantly be in this space of creation, burning the candle at both ends. You're going to burn out. And the Four of Swords is you resisting this rest, you resisting this break. So I feel like a lot of you, you're running on empty. You are trying so hard to build something on your timeline that you're forgetting to take a break and be grateful for where you have already been. Grateful for the things that you have in this moment. Taking time to heal. I feel like a lot of you maybe also feel as though there's no time to rest. No sleep for the wicked kind of energy. I feel like a lot of you are, you're definitely coming through some sort of big transformation and you're ready to just get going and keep going on the next step. Keep things moving as fast as it can go. But, I feel like a lot of you you need to take a break. You can't, as we said, you can't constantly be trying to build. You have to take time to rest. Actually, I'm going to show you real quick. I have this tattoo here. It's supposed to be kind of like representative of an... Oh my gosh, how am I supposed to show this to you? My arm doesn't twist this way. Gosh darn it. Okay, maybe you can kind of see that. It's really hard to show you and twist my arm this way. But, maybe you can see it here. There's these, twists and turns that the unalome takes. And it's meant to represent, the unalome represents, our path to enlightenment, right? But these twists and turns that we take along this path, it can sometimes feel like a regression in a way. It can feel like when we, start to build, that we end up, taking a step back. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, right? You're still net positive 1 step, right? You still moved forward 1 step, but that moving back feeling can often feel like we're going in the wrong direction. We can resist it because we feel like we're backsliding and feel like we're, moving backward and that we're not going as far as we need to go. But that regression period is actually needed. It's necessary in order for our growth to happen. You have to move forward. Those 3 steps forward, that's in your outer reality. That's in your outer life. That's the way that things are going on outside. But we also have to do the inside work too, Aries. And it feels like a regression because we're dealing with these things inside. We feel like it should be, related to our outer reality. We feel like if our outer world is different, that our inner world should change too. And really it's our outer world shifts and then we have to shift our perspective, our energy inward in order to actually accept and move into this new world that we've built, that we've created for ourselves. After that Tower moment, something shifted, something changed big time. But you still have to do the inner work too, Aries. You still have to deal with the inner bits that are left behind. And once you deal with that, you're going to be able to move forward again. But it does feel kind of like a stall moment. It feels like a moment where, our energy is stifled, where we're not making progress. I mean, we are still making progress. As I said, it's net positive on progress, but it feels like it's a negative process because we're moving back a little bit. So don't be afraid of the regression period, Aries. Don't be afraid of what feels like a step back because it's really preparing you for the next leap forward. It's preparing you for the next jump. So lean into that. Lean into the break that you need. Lean into the healing. Your next card here is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And yes, the Knight of Pentacles, this is a person who is ready to start planting. You see in the upright, this is a person who has this like plowed field world looking thing behind them. They have this seed in their grasp. And they're meant to take this seed and go and plant it. They're supposed to start building and planting this crop. They're waiting for the right time. They know and they have the knowledge of what this seed needs in order to prosper and grow. Aries, the seed is you. It's your intention. It's your thoughts and manifestations. It's your power, your magic. A lot of you are waiting for the opportunity to go and plant this seed somewhere. I'm not saying that you have to go and do it. As I said, this is actually a time where you need to be taking a break. You need to take time out with that brown bear spirit. You have to take time. When we plant something for growing, right? We plant a seed in the ground, we water it, we give it everything that we can give it, but it's not up to us whether this seed actually grows. It's actually up to the seed itself. The seed itself is the one that promotes the growth, but really we're just making sure that the area for it is optimal. We're making sure that we're planting it in fertile soil and not in the sand. We're making sure that we're giving it proper water and not underwatering it. So things like this, right? Where we are making sure that we are giving it the right opportunities, but the growth happens not on our own timeline. And Aries, that is you. Your growth happens not on your own timeline, right? You can't rush your healing process. You cannot rush this process of transformation. If you've ever heard the story of like the butterfly, you can't take a butterfly out of its cocoon. It needs this cocoon process, this fighting chrysalis process in order to strengthen its wings for flight. If you were to open the chrysalis or the cocoon before the butterfly is ready, the butterfly is not going to have the strength to be able to fly, because this struggle process is actually part of what it needs to grow. And so Aries, this growth, this thing that you really want for yourself, this person, your last card, the Emperor in reverse, you, who you want to be, embodying the fullest aspect of yourself. You have to allow it to grow. This growth is going to happen outside of your own timeline. It's going to happen outside of your own process. You have to make sure that you're giving yourself the optimal space. So making sure that you're taking time to take time out and rest, making sure that you are believing in yourself, believing that you have the ability to grow into this person, and making sure that you're giving yourself the optimal space, that you're taking care of yourself, that you're promoting and doing your self-care routines so that you can fill your cup first. Yeah, let's talk about that last card real quick while we're here. As we said, the Emperor in reverse. This is you, Aries. This is who you want to be, your fullest embodiment of yourself. In the upright, the Emperor person is, sometimes it's seen as a controlling card, but this is also a person who knows what they want. They have ultimate authority. They have authority to build the life that they want, to see what they want done, to get things done and get things moving. But Aries, this is about how you see yourself. This is about you seeing yourself in that place of authority. You seeing yourself in this aspect of who you are. You're in this butterfly process of growing. You're in this butterfly process of trying to see or maybe think about what the outside will look like once you're out of this cocoon. Your image of yourself is not quite aligned fully with this image of who you want to be. But Aries, you are still the Emperor. You are still this person. It's whether or not your inner self recognizes this image of yourself, this image of your highest self. So Aries, let's pull one last card. This is from the Universe Has Your Back deck. I want to leave you with a positive message from the universe about these next 2 weeks ahead, about your transformation here that's going on, Aries. Like I said, growth, you have to give it the optimal conditions, Aries. You have to give it the optimal pieces. But you also need to understand that this growth is happening as it's happening. All these things that you're being shown, all these things that you're being shown, all these places that you're being brought to at this time are important, yes. Important for you to understand. Gosh darn it. Okay. You know what? They really want you to have more than one card, it seems. I'm going to read these 3 cards to you. I'm going to read these 3 cards to you since Spirit seems to want to give you more than one today. Your first card says, I choose love no matter what. I choose love no matter what. Then your next card says, my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. And lastly, your final card here says, through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. So, Aries, choosing love, the love for yourself, inner experience, your outer experiences being a reflection of your internal condition. If things feel chaotic internally, they're going to feel chaotic externally. Making sure that you are keeping track of love for yourself, especially love for yourself, because a lot of this has to do with healing. A lot of this has to do with creating and building yourself. Through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. So yes, making sure that you're staying up on your meditation, making sure that you're staying up on taking care of yourself, not just like physically, food, water, bathing, things like that, but emotionally taking care of yourself. Meditation, prayer. Prayer is honestly like one of those things you don't have to actually pray to like a deity or an entity. If you're non-religious, you can pray to yourself. You can pray to whatever you want, your spirit guides, the universe. It's really just about putting your intention, putting hope back out into the world. Yeah, and it creates a ripple effect of peace. When you have peace internally, when you have peace being connected with love of the universe, it creates a ripple effect out in the world for you. So Aries, that is your reading for April 8th through the 21st. Thank you very much for being here today. I really hope that this reading was able to help you and provide you some guidance in some way. Once again, thank you for being here, and I hope that you all have a good rest of your week.